Just getting started here. We do have Powell speaking at 10. We have been continuing higher pretty much all of last night. Consolidated for a while, but then started to push higher this morning right after, I believe, 6 o'clock. Have this little bit of divergence here, so NQ being the leader, ES slightly behind, and YM in the negative. I do think we remain higher for longer. However, the price delivery that we saw all of yesterday seemed pretty manufactured, and price was just dragged up. I mean, we can kind of see it right here. This is not very clean at all. So I do think it's higher for longer, but I want to see us seek some sell side delivery before doing so. Maybe minor, maybe major. And also, I guess we don't have to right now. We could do that later on. We could continue to push higher, but that's what I'm looking for as of now. Okay, so just about opening here. So we just took out this morning's open. This is going to be the first presented fair value gap. So let's hope this remains open and price continues higher. That'd be great. That'd give us this as the first presented fair value gap. Look at the divergence here. It's still kind of there. ES isn't really moving higher, it's moving lower actively as NQ is moving higher, so that's telling us a lot. Interesting. Price this seems to be lagging a little bit. The cursor. Doesn't look super slow, but it's a little laggy. Let's drop down to the 15-second because that'll better tell us if it's laggy. Okay. Oh, we just got this randomly at the end of that. I missed it. 511. Okay. So we've got the first percentage fair value gap here. We'll draw this out past 10, maybe 10:30 or so. So now YM is up a little bit more than it was. These two are relatively the same as they were. Let's take a look here at 1 hour. So coming back to the 1 minute, did just trade through the first percentage fair value gap. I don't really like that. I don't trust it. Ran the highs from the London, or from London, which are all the highs really. So I think we should look for lower. Doesn't mean it's going to happen immediately, but I do think at some point we'll try to run for these. I think sometime during the AM session we'll at least run for these, because we've now taken this out. And beyond that, we have this down here at 410. We actually move up to the 15 because that might give us a little bit better of a representation. Yeah, so all this right in here. Oh, 400 or so. 22,400. Great. Let's bring that back up to the 1. Again, I think the bias is higher for longer, but I think in the intermediate term, we'll try to seek some sell side. It just makes sense to. Doesn't mean we will, but that makes the most sense. On buy side, February 21st, New York AM swing high at 22,563.75. So if we do continue higher, we may hit that. If we get there, I do want to watch and see how price reacts. Oh, that's weird. Why did it do that? I'm not interested in taking anything going there. Um, Unless we take out some sell side liquidity first, but I'm just going to put this here. So even if we do retrace head lower, we have that there for later on. Only thing I'm really interested in right now is that first presented fair value gap that we created in the sell side liquidity down at 22,400. At that point, we have to see if price wants to continue higher or if it wants to retrace even lower. But if we go higher first instead of heading to take that out, not interested. Let's keep our eye on this divergence, especially the YM. If these remain the same or go higher and this moves lower, one of them are lying. See, these two are adding up. This is heading down. So, this price action already gives us no reason to trade, but seeing this divergence here gives us even less of a reason to trade. They're not in sync, so you can't trust them. One of them is lying, and eventually it'll give up the ghost, but for right now, just have to let it play out. Yeah, so this is inefficient delivery right now. I think normally we would want to trade below this and then move higher, but because it's inefficient and something's lying, I don't necessarily think this candle will want to go lower than higher. I think it's going to want to go higher, or it'll sag down and close down, but I don't think it's going to trade down here and then rip higher. It may make me a liar, but because this is inefficient and now looking heavily manipulated, I don't think it's going to come down and then push up. And just to reiterate, because it is extremely inefficient and this came down, does not at all mean we're going to continue down. This could absolutely come up right here without ever trading below this order or pseudo order block. This could just move higher. But again, not interested in taking anything. We want to see sell side delivered to, or we want to see a delivery to sell side begin, and at that point we'll get interested, but right now, no interest. This divergence is starting to slip a little bit. Meaning that the volume has come up a little bit without these really going much higher. Seems heavily manipulated. We're going to stick with the 1, but just a quick look at the 5. Much cleaner. Just one thing of note, this looks like it's going extremely high. From here, from open pretty much to here, is about 40 handles. So it's not much at all. This candle, the length of these candles that we're getting is making this look a lot larger than it actually is. So inefficient price delivery. So again, I would think because it's inefficient and we're seeing this ugly price action here, a really large up close candle right here. And again, not inefficient, but manipulated. So wouldn't be surprised to see a pretty large up close candle here. It generally would not make sense, but because this is so heavily manipulated, wouldn't be surprised to see that. We're coming up on a 950 macro here. About 3 minutes to go. Extremely manipulated price here. Going to mark this as an order block. This price delivery, I don't really trust it, but mark it in case it holds. Okay, so coming up on that 950 macro here. Not the cleanest delivery, but at the moment, or not the cleanest price action, but at the moment, the delivery seems fine. Oh, so we got Powell speaking at 10, but we also get the new home sales at 10. So that'll be interesting. Into the first presented fair value gap at the moment. Now this is picked up. The YM. It's picked back up. So unfortunately, this is moving way faster than I was hoping for. Wanted to get an entry, but like we can see that half of this move here occurred in this candle. I want to watch to see if we close below this. So we did just close below it. So this is probably just going to drop down here. I was waiting for it to close below this order block, but I don't know. If it doesn't, we're probably going to see some inefficient delivery or some price discovery going sideways for a bit. So I want to see if we respect this midpoint right through it. Terrible delivery. Okay, so pretty bad delivery. Gonna hold off here. Might actually have to wait until 10. I want to see what we get here in terms of an order block, but traded through the first presented fair value gap. Didn't take out anything really. We took out this, which is super minor. We didn't take out a ton, and now we are retracing. So just really nasty price delivery. Let's move up to the 1 hour here. Yeah, it's just nasty. Um, this kind of tells me I wouldn't actually say it's time distortion. I think it's more manipulation than time distortion, but this is kind of telling me that the 10 o'clock new home sales data is going to move us pretty swiftly. We're already kind of setting up to take out sell side, but I don't know. I don't really want to get in ahead of it with price moving this way. So I'm going to set things up, but I think I'm going to be sidelined. And we may just have to miss the move. So this will probably come down. If this goes up, then we are, like if this closes up, we're totally hands off until the 10 o'clock data releases. Yeah, this is insanely manipulated. So we have that new home sales data at 10, but we also have Powell speaking. I know Powell's red folder, but I don't exactly think that's going to bring as much of an injection of liquidity as the new home sales are going to. So watch this here. See if the body of this, the candles respect this inversion fair value gap here. So the wicks can trade through as much as they want, but until the bodies close above the midpoint, this will hold steady, I believe. Well, it should. And we just got above it, so not using it at the moment. Still leave it there in case it becomes useful later on, but seeing some pretty gnarly PA right now. It's going to be a pretty important fair value gap here. We just created a bunch of liquidity down here also, so we may continue higher off of the 10 o'clock stuff. We may push higher, but we now have all of this sell side liquidity. And again, I would like to see higher for longer, but I think we need to gather liquidity before continuing higher for a longer term. We can continue higher today, but I think we need a retracement before doing so. So let's see. 488.25. All right, so 2 minutes left there. Just came up to this fair value gap. Didn't quite make it to this. Let's look at the 5 here. Oof, this is pretty nice on the 5 minute. Everything is kind of saying lower at this time. I mean, this kind of looks sideways, but if we look a little more in depth at it, we've got this fair value gap that we're trading into. Got a wick off of it. On the 1, price has come down and is moving higher, but it's not very efficient at all. What we saw the most efficient delivery in was this here, coming for this sell side. So we actually may want to take this buy. We'll probably take this buy side out at 10. Let's look at the 5. Yeah, this actually is saying, it's kind of saying nothing. Now, if we leave this open, that will tell us a little bit more, but, or if we close it, that'll tell us a little bit more. But right now, it's not saying too much. Well, we had this large wick that was saying a little bit more, but here comes the delivery, so let's take a look. Just take a look at the 5 second quickly to see if it tells us much. I don't really trust it right now, but order block here. Let's look at the YM to tell us what's really going on. And we might get a silver bullet. So I'm going to just start to draw that out here. Like a silver bullet there, so we'll see if we trade into it, but my focus is mainly this first presented fair value gap. Can we close below it? Let's Still watching these here. YM, most important. I'd say NQ is the second most important, considering it's the one that's highest up, and NQ is lower. Ooh, I think we closed right on. So let's see, close 502.25. We closed right inside, so see some pretty strong manipulation to keep it here for a bit. Might just be a market maker sell model accumulating to go lower, which would mean it'd be like a little bit lower or a little bit longer of a sell side delivery, but still just waiting to get a close below here. Let's look at the 5. Wow, okay. So that should start to draw us lower. Just want to see if we come back up at all. Really heavily manipulated. We'll use the 5. Okay. Still haven't really made any, haven't made much of a move. Pretty heavily manipulated, but keying off of the 5 in the close under here on the 1 minute basis. Wow. Okay. So pretty heavily manipulated here. Looks like we might just be out here for the day.